Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
तुदे आगे अरदास हमारी जियो पिंड सब तेरा कहो नानक सब तेरी वड्याई कोई नाम ना जाने मेरा क्या हो कथी कथे कद देखा मैं अकथ न कथ ना जाई जो तुद पावै सोई आखा तिल तेरी वड्याई तिल तेरी वड्याई। वाहिगुरु साध संगत जी गज गज की फतेह बुलानी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। So with Guru's grace we've got through so far to the 12th pauri of Japji Sahib. We did last week, we talked about Sunaya, about the idea of listening to Guru's wisdom, about the hukam that Maharaj gives us. Also once we start listening to that Bani, to also start listening to the inner voice as well. Listening to that voice of reason, that Gurmat voice that's inside us as well, that's telling us, sometimes guiding us, if you don't do this, it's not good for you. And listening to that higher mind. And this week we're going to talk about Manne. Maharaj Kirpa, we'll try to get through all 4 pauris on Manne. Now we can understand that in this Bani, Guru Bani, Maharaj gives us a lot of wisdom, Gyan. He also tells us of a path. He shines a light onto this torch, a torch onto this path that we're going to walk. Eh Marg, Sacha Marg, they say in Gurbani. It's a Marg towards enlightenment, about spiritual enlightenment. So you could think of the road being ahead of you, but actually you could think of it being up here, going up you to your enlightenment from the Godhead. And we also know that Dhan Guru Granth Sahib Ji, apart from giving us his light and judgment and giving us direction, is also the light of all the Gurus. So actually Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji sitting here in the room with us right now. Hopefully I won't embarrass him with the katha of his Bani. And we also know that we can go to our Guru for advice. We can take Hukamnama. If in our life we're a bit confused about why are we here, we need some advice, we can get Hukamnama from our Guru as well. But in all of that, what we see is Sunya. If we can listen to that wisdom. Now Maharaj starts talking about Manniya. And we'll talk about Manniya in a bit more detail. Now there's 4 pauris about Manniya. Manna. The first one doesn't have a dulam. It says Manne. And the rest are all Manna. So the first one is more about the person. The person who is the one who is Jira Manreya. The person who is the Manna, it's about him or her. And then after that, the next 3 pauris for me are more about the state of that person. What happens to that person, the benefits and the experience of that person who actually starts to do Manne. Now, in one way we talked about Gurbani, Manne being that we can accept, so the word we can use, accept Gurbani as the truth. So we can say, well, what truths are they that Guru is telling us? One truth Maharaj tells us is that reincarnation is true, that we've come on many, many lives, and this human life is the highest life. And it's very important for us to use the human life as well, and not waste it. Another truth Maharaj tells us is that, look, you're separated from your true love. That Vaheguru is our true love, and we're separated right now. So the idea of accepting that truth as being very real, and not just a fairy tale, is also accepting the truth of Gurbani, the Gyan that Maharaj is giving us. And we can also understand that Maharaj tells us that God is everywhere. That Vaheguru is outside us and inside us. Sab mein Jod. Inside every single one of us. And that Jod has Soi. So Vaheguru is inside us. And that we have the opportunity in this human life, through our Dasam Dwar, through Kirpa, through following Guru's hukam, to actually experience that Vaheguru inside us. To call them inside. But also Manne can be to follow. Here we're not just talking about accepting the truth of it, but actually following it, doing it. So Maharaj says in Gurbani ke hukam maniye hoye parvan ta khasme ka mahal paisi. If you man the hukam of Guruji, you will be parvan, you will be accepted in God's court, and you will get to that khasme ka mahal paisi. You will reach the palace of our husband, or our beloved, our Lord Master, Waheguru. So we have to obey the hukam as well of Guruji. We have to have some discipline and become a follower. Sometimes people say, what is a Sikh? We say, well, a Sikh is a learner, a student. But over here Maharaj is telling us that this person is no longer a student. They're actually a practicer. So they're a follower. You have Guru as a teacher and also Guru as our king, and we're the followers. Maharaj says ki it marg challe payare gur kehya sukar kamai jiyo. If you want to walk on this path, then what the Guru tells you, earn or kam karo. Do that work that Maharaj is telling you to do. We know, we talked about last couple of parties, ki what should I do to get my Guru's blessings? What will he want? He wants love, and he wants us to start living the rehat of a Guru Sikh. So there's a line in Gurbani which is quite beautiful. Maharaj says, Kis hon sevi, kya jap kari? Who should I serve and what jap should I do? Satguru puche jai. I went to ask my Satguru. Good question. Now we asked that question, what should I do? Maharaj says, ki Satguru ka pana man le. Accept the hukam of Guru, Satguru da pana man le, vicho aap gavai. Lose your ego. Lose your sense of ki main karna hai, main, or home. Lose that and follow Guru. So in one way, manna can mean ki apne man nu manana. Because your mind actually is the game. Maharaj tells us, hukam ki in this Sikhi, there's the manmukh and the gurmukh. And the manmukh, you see, is following his mind. So you see in this, you say man jane man koi. So there's a man is quite an important part of this body. So actually one understanding of this is that you're going to ignore your ego. What your mind tells you to do, you ignore it. And what your Guru tells you to do, you do that. So every time in life we're walking around, there's going to be times where we're going to have a little bit of a conflict. There's going to be some question where you know that Guru Sahib said this, but your mind says, "Koi na man, do it." It's like you're driving a car and you've got the perfect GPS. When you're driving on the road, the GPS says this way is better, turn left here. But as you look down the road, it looks a bit kacha, it looks a bit dark, and all your mates are going on the motorway, that way. And you think, what? Why would I want to? It's a bit dodgy going down that road. Why don't I just follow my mates? They're going that way. Why don't I just go that way? But the GPS, you know, is perfect because it's Pura Guru, the perfect Guru. But the Maharaj that he's giving you, he's telling you, Maharaj says, this Maharaj of the saints is Kanyo Tikhi Valo Nikki. It's sharper than a sword's edge, Khanda's edge, and thinner than a hair. So obviously when you look at it on that motorway going big that way, on the left, tiny little road, thin little road, you think, do I want to take the risk? So this is a little bit about manana. Mananu manana, follow the hukam. And we know that actually, Maharaj says in Gurbani Keys, he cusses the mind sometimes. He says, man, you are an idiot. Tu kare sudarnani. But also Maharaj says, ki sone man mitra pyarya. Oh my beloved mind, my friend, mil vela eho. This is the time to meet your Vaheguru. Oh my beloved mind, this is the time to meet your Vaheguru. Jab lag joban saas hai, tab lag eh tan deho. Whilst you're young, not when you're old. You know our Sikhis nowadays, for the Amritaris who are like 60 plus only, yeah, or take it 70 plus, go to Amrit Sanchar nowadays, majority of people are old. But Maharaj says ki jab lag joban saas hai. Joban means to be young. While you're young, give your mind and your body to your Guru. Now, the highest level of this is obviously what Guru Nanak Dev Ji says. Je to prem khilan ka chao, sir tar tali gali meri aao. If you want to play this game of love, step onto my path with your head in the palm of your hands. There's even a better quote I found, just it resonated with me. It's not better or worse. Sorry to say that. What Maharaj says is ki tan man gur pe vechya, man diya sir naal. I sold my mind and my body to my Guru. Now, we can think nowadays, ki, why tan? Why your body? But we know in our rehat of a Guru Sikh, we're not supposed to touch alcohol. We're not supposed to touch cigarettes and drugs. But in our youth, it's quite a prevalent custom. I've been there myself. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. But Maharaj says, ki, if you want to walk on this path, tan man gur pe vechya, then sir diya, man diya sir naal. Along with my head, I also gave my mind. And there's a line from Guru Bani goes, Tyage man ki matdi. Leave the mat of the mind. So actually what manne can mean is that from now on, I accept your order so much that I'm not going to listen to my lower mind, I'm going to accept your hukum. And we'll talk about this in a little while, a story about how even a Mahapurush went through the same problem about choosing between the mind and the higher mat of Guru. There's also the idea in Manne of faith, of having faith, the believer. Now we know that in Kirtan Soila, you antar jami purkh bidate sarta man ki pure, complete and make perfect my shraddha, my faith in you. And we know sometimes we get the guilt trip that in our past, the shaheeds, they went through a lot and they kept their faith. You can imagine, like, one thing that we asked for in our ardas, we said to Maharaj ki, give me full strength to stay by your hukum. Don't let me fall down. On that day when I'm tested, let it not be that I give up and other people get through and I fall. So we know that if you look at Guru Angad Dev Ji, when they were Pailana, their faith in their Guru was so strong. You know, they said to them, Guru Nanak Dev Ji said to Pailana, he go and shake that tree and bring some mithai down. There's not food for the Sangat, we need some prasad, go and shake the tree. Now that tree, everybody knew was a tree that would not have any fruit. Like you went to a park and there was an oak tree. And they said, shake the oak tree and get me down some fruits. You're going to say, it's not there. Hona nahi. Ho hi nahi sakta. You know, they say that it can't happen. Now he said to his Tan Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he said to his sons, you go and do it. And Omukarage, they said, nah, it's not going to happen. I know, my mind tells me, I know that there's nothing there. Pailana said Satabachan and went off and did it. We also know that Pailana, when he was tested for the Guru Gaddi, Guruji said, eat this dead body. And Pailana, we told this story in the first week, Pailana said, should I start at the head or the feet? It wasn't a question of should I or shouldn't I, it was where should I start from. Then when he saw that it was prasad, he didn't think, let me eat, as we would have thought, prasad, yeah, I got saved, it's not a dead body. He said, he offered it to everybody there. Baba, you know, his sons were there, and Babuddha Ji was there, and they said, Vandake Shako is a hukum of Guruji as well. And he shared before he even ate himself. That's why he was given the Guru Gaddi, and they became Tan Guru Angad Dev Ji. So a little bit of this is actually giving your head, and we see that with the Panch Pyare, they kept their faith, even in some kind of crazy environment, when Tan Guru Gobind Singh Ji is standing up with a sword, saying, give me your head, Firbi, they gave their head. So when we talk about manne, there's all these things going in, faith, belief, and the ego. And it's quite nice that there's a pauri. I found a pauri which talks about this a lot. And the pauri, Maharaj says, Sa seva kiti safar hai, jit satguru ka man manne. Now, manne means also to be happy. Kisi no khush karana. manana. You know, win over someone. Like we say, ki if your girlfriend or your wife, they're rusagi, you say unu manalo. So mananu manana towards the Guru. And it says here, ki that seva is safal, is fruitful, which Sadguru ka man mane, that the Guru is happy with you. In that seva, the Guru gets happy with you. That's a good seva to do.
साह सेवा कीती सफल है जित सतगुर का नाम साह सेवा कीती सफल है जित सतगुर का सेवा की सफल है जित सतगुर का
Maharaj says, Ja Sadguru ka man manya ta paap kasammal panne. That all my sins got wiped out when my Guru got happy with me, with my seva.
सतगुर का मन मनिया ता पाप संमल पन्ने जा सतगुर का मन मनिया ता पाप संमल पन्ने.
Now Maharaj says, listen, Upadesh Diditta Sadguru. The Upadesh of the Guru, the Sadguru, so Sunya Sikhi Kanne. The Guru's Upadesh, we talked about Sunya last week. The Guru Sikhs, they listen to the Upadesh of the Guru from their kan. Kan na changi tarah sunna.
Upadesh jagta Sadguru
Sadguru ka pana mannaya. We talked about previously. That person that accepts the Guru's hukum, they surrender. In fact, they give up. Maharaj, I can't do it by myself. You do it for me. So Sadguru ka pana mannaya tin chadi chavaggan vanne. Their love for Waheguru increases fourfold. When you give yourself, you get the world back. Maharaj says for me.
जिन सतगुर का पाना मनिया जिन सतगुर का पाना मनिया तिन चढ़ी चवगन तिन चढ़ी चवगन.
Maharaj says, Waheguru, ehil Chal Nirali Gursmukhi. This way of the Gurmukh, a chal Nirali hai. It's not common. It is a bit awkward. A Nirali chal hai. It's unique and distinct. Gur Dikhya Sun Man Pinne. When they listen to the Dikhya of the Guru, Dikhya means teachings. When we listen to the teachings of our Guru and we follow them, then our mind blossoms. Like it's sukkah mine with it's like cracked earth, past earth, and then pani penda utte. And then andro beach comes up and it's like green. We talked about this last time. Ki Maharaj says ki what is it to make a human being flower when Maharaj can make the whole earth flower? It's nothing. We're nothing for that.
कीती सफल है जित सतगुर का मन में सतगुर का मन में सतगुर का मन में.
So now we've understood that Maharaj wants us to take our mind and stop listening to the mind and get the mind to listen to the Guru. That's manne. Jo man gaya. And not that oh man bhi gaya. On top of that, they started to shed their ego and they embraced love for Waheguru. And when they started to embrace love, they started to love Sikhi. And the next bit of this is interesting because in these four bodies, Gur Kirpa Maharaj gives us a bit of a guidance as what to do next. Once we sold our mind to our Guru, ਅਸੀਂ ਮੰਨ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਬਾਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਹੈ, we listened to it, we got the understanding, Upadesh Guru, then we start following it. Maharaj says कि ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, जेको मन न जाने मन कोय. So I'm going to just talk about this bit first before we go into the manne, because in many ways everybody has this at the end, so we can understand some of the reasoning behind it. Now, aisa means such, aisa. Naam, we know means Waheguru's name. Now, Niranjan means pure, because Anjan is dark. You know the surma jehda hunda hai on the eyes. So without any dark, without any blemish, pure, Niranjan. Aisa naam Niranjan hui, jeko man न जाने मन कोई. Now the first man is man with a little chand on top. That means it's referring to this manne, accepting, not man as in the mind. Now jeko is if someone. We see here man, we talked about it, is to follow, is to put it into practice and to sell our mind to our Guru. Then he says man jane. Now jane is in there. Jane in Punjabi means to know something. So Guru is telling us that listen, the Naam is so pure. Aisa Naam Niranjan hoy. The Naam is so pure, it's like a bath of purity. Because now his Naam is so pure, there's a great katha I heard from a Baba on YouTube. It's great YouTube. And he said ki देखो गुड़ गुड़ कहंदे गुड़ नहीं मिलता, मिठा नहीं होता. You can sit there with a cup of tea and you can say गुड़ 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 गुड़, and the cup of tea will not get sweeter. But Naam is such an amazing thing. By saying Waheguru, 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 you can get Waheguru. Nothing else in this world comes to you and you can have it for free just by you calling it. But Waheguru is so amazing that by calling Waheguru, we can get Waheguru. Guru says in Bani ki nao tera nirankar hai, nae laiye narak na jaiye. The Naam is so amazing that by taking Naam, we don't go to Narak, the lower hells. But also Maharaj says ki aapine aap sajyo, aapine rachiyo naam. You made yourself Waheguru, you made yourself. Aapine aap sajyo, you made yourself. And Aapine rachiyo naam, and you made the Naam. And then Dui kudrat sajiye kar ascended to jao. That you second, after making yourself and your name, then you made this world. And you're sitting in this world and enjoying it. So the Naam is so amazing, it purifies us. We become Niranjan by saying the Naam. We become purified. It's an experience that we have. And then Man Jane. First we man it, and then we jane it. We know it. Because the experience is what Sikhi Sana tell us. It's not just about having faith, it's about experiencing Waheguru inside us. It's kind of like making the Gurbani become real. Gurbani is real, obviously, as Bani. But we, the Gursikhs, the followers of that Bani, have to make it real inside us. It has to go inside us, then become Pargat outside us. And you know, they say in Sikhi, on the right side, that they say that Sikhi is all about stability. Stability of taking bit of both. not going too far into one end, too far down the other end. So there's three things that we can talk about in terms of stability. Ki Bani Bana. That's two wings, and the Gursikh is that bird in between. So you got Bani on the one side, making you pure on the inside. But then you got the Bana helping you. The outward look, it helps you. And we'll talk about this in a little while. Why does the outward look help a Gursikh? But the stability of having both those things are very helpful, because a bird can fly really well with two wings. It can't fly too well with just one wing. Also they say Seva, Simran. Do a bit of Seva and then do Simran as well. Do both. One without the other, you're not helping people. Or you're doing too much Seva, but you're not doing any Simran. Another one is Sangat and Pangat. We're here in the Gurdwara now. It's an amazing thing for the Gore. If you tell somebody, you know, we have this thing called a Gurdwara, and there's meditation there. They won't be surprised by that. You say, we got a free food there. And they're surprised by that. Every day free food. And they go, well, only on Sundays, right? No. Okay, so lunchtime? No. So what? Breakfast, lunch, evening? No, not just that. The whole day. Turn up whenever you want and there's food available. Every day. And they say, well, only on special months? No. The whole year. Sikhi's got no special days, no special months. Every day the Gurdwara is open to you to do Simran and to do Seva, to do Sangat, to do Pangat, and for you to have Bana and have Bani. Sikhis day in, day out. So Maharaj says ki, Aisa naam niranjan hoy. When we know it inside us, then it comes outside us. And there's a line from Gurbani, Maharaj says ki, Dillo mohabbat jin sahi sachya, jin man hor mukh hor se kande kachya. So it's about inside true love. True love. And you know it. It's not something that someone has to tell you, ki Waheguru is true or not. You know. So we'll sing this bit, the last line, do a bit of Simran, then we'll go to the four bodies.
ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, ऐसा नाम निरंजन ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, जेको मन जाने मन कोय, 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 ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए, ऐसा नाम निरंजन
Jeko man jane man koi. The last part, man koi, is talking about there's very few of these people that can achieve this, Maharaj says. Maharaj says ki there's very few of these people that can achieve this. The people that can actually man jane man koi. And what happens in those people, those virle ke? What happens in their mind? Maharaj says, a lovely line from one side. Maharaj says ki Sadgurta paya sahaj seti man vajya vadaya. The person who achieves that, the Satguru inside, what do? In their mind, they're saying, wow, wow, vadaya, vadaya. I'm so lucky, I'm so lucky. Waheguru Satguru Sikh ko naam tan de Gur ka Sikh vada bhagi hai. The Guru Sikh is saying, I am so lucky, my Guru is giving me naam. I am so lucky, and he's thanking Waheguru all the time. Ki mainu naam milya. Wow. They don't go around telling everybody, obviously, but they keep it to themselves. But they're thanking Guru all the time. They're not a kirtkana. They're not people who are shying away from saying thank you. They're actually all the time saying thank you. Now, the next bit Maharaj says ki manne ki gat kahi na jaye. Now we can understand that it's not just about belief, because we know about belief. The manne ki gat kahi na jaye, the inner state of that person, jera man gaya, we can't say it. How can we explain the inner state of that person that is basically a bhagat? They've become a bhagat now. They've realized this love inside them of Waheguru. They've earned Guru Shabad. And they've now, their mind, if you say man jane man koi, the full body of this is talking about ki your mind is following the pure name. The naam becomes your Guru. Your Guru becomes your naam. You see, it's like we say in Gurbani, Satguru and Satnam. Yeah, we have Satguru, we have Satnam. You can swap the two. So many times you can say Satnam or Satguru. They swap. So the Sat is important. And that Sat we talked about is the eternal Sat. That Waheguru. That Waheguru is the only Sat there. And then we understand that Guru gives us Naam, which is why they swap around. Guru actually gives us Naam. Now, because we can't understand the state of that person, we can't explain it, Gurbani tells us a little line from Japji Sahib. Maharaj says ki, Sunya manya, man kita pao. They listen, they follow, and in their love, in their mind, they get love. Man kita pao. Pao is love. Then, antargat tirat malna. See, inside, they wash. They wash at that tirat. And then we understand ki Niranjan means to be pure. It's talking about the same concept. And there's a line from Gurbani which really blew me away. Maharaj said ki, Har Bhagat, Har ka pyar hai. Har Bhagat, Bhakti, not Bhagat. Har Bhakti, but it's a Sehari, but it's on Gurbani. When you pronounce it, you say Bhagat. That's why you need to learn Gurbani. Because where there's Sehari, we don't have to say it. We don't pronounce it, but it's there. It means something. Har Bhagat, Har ka pyar hai. The Bhakti of Waheguru is love of Waheguru. So if you love Waheguru, you do Bhakti. You don't just do Bhakti, not that, the other way around. You can't just say I love Waheguru and do nothing about it. That's what Guru is saying. If you love Waheguru, you will do Bhakti. So inside us, we start doing Bhakti, and Maharaj says, if you try to explain this gut, the inner state of that person, you will regret it. Jeko kahe, piche, pachtai. Pachtai means to regret. So, describing the state of that person is impossible. And in Gurbani it says ki, gunge ki mithai. It's the mithai of the person who is mute. They can't actually speak. So they just go like this. It's nice. They can't say anything else. There's, when we talk about explaining the happiness, there's a modern analogy we can use. Something like this, a friend gave it to me yesterday. He said, okay, listen, I could describe an aeroplane to you, all the controls, I could describe you how it goes up, everything. But the experience of flying the aeroplane is very different from actually sitting in the aeroplane and looking at the controls. So Gurbani is a bit like that. Gurbani is showing us the path, but until we do Naam Japana, until we start purifying ourselves with the name, we're just talking about it. We haven't actually sat in the aeroplane and flown anywhere. We just took theoretical flying lessons. Now the next line Maharaj says ki Kagad kalma likhan har. So when they were talking to the Siddhs, and the Siddhs were saying ki, what are you trying to make? Maharaj says, I'm trying to make Gurmukhs. And we talked about the last line of that previous body we read, that is Gurmukhi. This way is a Gurmukh way. Maharaj is trying to create Gurmukhs, and he talks about the Gurmukhs with the Siddhs. And they go, what is the state of that Gurmukh? They go, I can't tell you the state of that Gurmukh. But they go, can you write it down? Maharaj says, no. Kagad kalam na likhan har. I can't write it. There's no such paper where I could write the Ustad of that Gurmukh. there's no such pen and there's no such person that can write it. It has to be experienced. Manne ka beh kare vichar. The person who is a Gurmukh, that Bhagat, what did they do? They sit in contemplation of Vaheguru. Oh bas, Amrita Vela, Sachanao, Vadiyai Vichar. They just sit in there, happy, doing Vichar and Vaheguru. And we, as Gursikhs, we should sit with those Bhagats. We should sit with those people that are Gurmukhs and do Vichar with them. So.
मने की गत कही न जाए, मने की गत कही न जाए, जे को कहे पीछे पछताए, कागज कलम ना लिखन हार, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, जे को मन जाने मन कोय। ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, जे को मन जाने मन कोय। ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो। वाहेगुरु 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 वाहेगुरु
Maharaj says, Ki manne surt hove man buddh. Now it's the state, it's manne with dulam, manne surt hove man buddh. Consciousness is surti. When we talk about our state of our consciousness, that's being aware. Now, the buddh, man, we know man is our mind. Surt hove becomes man buddh. Now, buddh can be meaning our wisdom, the level of wisdom that we have. Or we can be aware of our mind and what it's thinking. So one way we can say this is actually we become aware of the mind. They say this in Buddhism because it comes from the Buddhas or Buddha. Buddha was all about being always aware. And in Buddhism they call it mindfulness, being aware of the mind. What is the mind doing? What is it thinking? Is it thinking about the Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar? Or is it thinking about Vaheguru? So we can think that actually what this is talking about is by doing manna, by actually doing bhakti, becoming a mannanwala of Gurbani and of Guru, then we actually start to get awareness of our mind and what it's doing. Manna sagal pavan ki sudh. Now pavan can mean all the planets and all the stars and all the galaxies. So the person who's doing manna, the person who's a pure follower, who's earning the Guru's ways and the Guru's teachings, that person starts to become aware even of other planets and other states and dimensions. We can use pavan to even mean our own mental state when we're sleeping, when we're awake, and when we're doing bhakti and different times. So we start to become aware of our mind even when we are sleeping. And there's a line Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, he don't even go and think of a pari istri even in your dream. Now we think, how can we control our dreams? Because the dreams go wherever they want to. Maharaj tells us that as we start to go into Sikhi, as you really start to follow the hukum, pana manneya, then we start to get awareness of our mind at all times. That's why you say ki art pahar, that we think about Waheguru 24 hours a day. You would have seen this in Gurbani translations. How does it work? We sleep as well, but the mind starts to become awake in all of those times. Then Maharaj says ki manne mohe chota na khai, that the person who is mannan wala, that person, they don't get blows on their face. Mohe chota na khai. It's a little line about this. We can think about this as being blows on the face, but we also know that the Khalsa way is to be a warrior. So you're gonna face blows. So what is this talking about? And actually it's talking about ki you don't get dishonored in this world. There's a lovely story here about Baba Harnam Singh. We talked about him before, Sekanaya. One day he was walking, after being a Bhagat as well, he was walking and it was a hot day. And if you don't know, if you've been in Punjab, you know that there's ganna growing everywhere when they have the field, sugar cane. And he thought, such a hot day, I'd love to have some ganna. You know, when you're walking along and you just rip it up and you chew it and spit it out, it's quite a nice feeling, you know? And even in this hot day in the summer, in Amritsar, they have ganna ras right outside Darbar Sahib. People like drinking it. So he thought to himself, let me have some. Then he thought, hold on, I'm stealing from this guy, this farmer. There's thousands of it, but he thought to himself, he's still stealing, I shouldn't. But the mind was saying, go on, it's alright, no one will ever know, there's no one here. As he walked further, he thought, but hold on, I'm a Gursikh. People respect me as a Gursikh. But what if I actually followed and did this? What could happen to me? People will say that Harnam Singh, he is this follower of Sikhi, he tells people about Naam, but actually he's a thief stealing sugarcane. He said to himself, I'm not going to listen to you. My mind, whatever happens, I'm not going to steal this because it could be bad for me. As he went further down, suddenly he saw the owner of that field coming out, named Uttam Singh. He comes out holding some broken bits and he says Fateh to him, to Baba Harnam Singh. He says, you know Baba Harnam Singh, I was lying here waiting because there's a guy who's been coming to my field, stealing sugarcane and actually throwing the broken pieces in the middle of the field to taunt me as if I'm stealing your sugarcane. And I was waiting, if I was going to catch him, I was going to take him to village centre and shame him in front of everybody. Baba Harnam Singh, imagine what he went through. He's thinking, and then he said to him, oh, so good that you're here. So good that you're here, Babaji. I wanted to ask you a few questions about Gurmat. He goes, come and sit down with me. Let's have some ganna and let's have a chat about Gurbani. Baba Harnam Singh, he's thinking, here I was about to become the person that would have been done for all the thieving that had happened. And here I am, by listening to my Guru, by manning my Guru's Bani, here I'm being given it for free. So there's a line that he talked about in his Kahani, and he said here, it's from Gurbani. It says, Kavan kavan nahi patriya, tumri partit. Says to the mind, who has not fallen? Who has not fallen by having faith in you, O mind? Everybody has fallen. Because a man is murak. It says later on, because man khuthar, tera nahi bisas, tu maha udmada. O my mind, no faith is to be placed upon you. Tera nahi bisas. Like you say, Vishwash. Tera nahi bisas, tu maha udmada. You are a drunkard. You can get enticed by anything and you will follow it to the end. Like we said in the beginning, Guru tells us that this mind, Rajdani, Deho Naam Santokhiya, Utre Man Ki Puk. That's the only thing that's going to solve the puk of the mind is Naam. Nothing else will solve it. So you can understand this, that actually this is about Mukke ni khane, muhi chota na khaye. Then Maharaj says, Ki manne jam ke saath na jaye. That if we become followers and believers in Gurbani, then we won't even go with the Jamduts. Jam ke saath na jaye. The Jamduts are the angels of the king of the underworld, the king of Taramraj. He's going to get us at the end. And he sends these people to catch you. And he says, Maharaj says, Jira Gursikh hega, who becomes a Bhagat Banda, the Jam do not even catch him and take him.
मन सुरत होवे मन बुद्ध होवे मन बुद्ध मन सगल पवन की सुध सगल पवन की सुध मन सुरत होवे मन बुद्ध सुरत होवे मन बुद्ध मन सगल पवन की सुध मन सगल पवन की सुध मन मोह चोटा न खाए मन चोटा न खाए मन जम के साथ न जाए जम के साथ न जाए ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो जे को मन जाने मन को ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो जे को मन जाने मन को ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो
Maharaj says ki lekha koi na puchhi cha har bakshanda. When Vaheguru blesses us, then the lekha, Dharamraj, does not touch that person. Your lekha gets ripped up. No one asks for it. The Maharaj says ki manna marg thak na paye. Marg means your road that you're walking. And on this marg, you will not face any obstacles. Thak na paye. No one stops you on these obstacles. Now, you think, well, in life is quite hard. Sometimes it is quite hard. And to get past, Maharaj says you won't face any obstacles. What does that mean? Actually, Maharaj says in Gurbani that Thir kar baiso har jan pyari Satguru tumre kaj savari. That if we follow this path, actually Guruji makes it easy for us. He comes and helps. We think, oh, I have to give 10% to my Guru. I'll be, it is a bit of a shame nowadays that Daswand is sort of fallen out of our tradition. But in the old days, the Masans, their job was to collect Daswand. And every Gursikh would give Daswand. Now sometimes in society we think, you know what, if I give Daswand, mera kuch kat jana. I'm going to lose something by giving Daswand. And Guru is telling us, no. By being a Gursikh and manning the hukam, if we give Daswand, we won't lose out. We will benefit. In our life, if we bring Sikhi into our life, we'll benefit, we won't lose out. Having a pug, a dari, keeping your amrit, keeping your head will only benefit you, will not lose out. But the problem is that sometimes we think we're going to lose out because our mind shows us that road which looks big and well travelled with loads of cars on it. And that Gursikh road looks a bit small and untravelled and a bit unsure. Then Maharaj says after that, ki manne pat syon pargat jai. So I just want to tell you little, we haven't got enough time. Manne pat syon pargat jai. The person who mans this bani, this hukam, and follows Guru's hukam, that person goes with respect when they leave. Pat. Pat means honor. Now we know that Gurbani says ki tirat tap daya dat daan je ko pave til ka maan. That all these things, washing at pilgrimage, doing money giving away, all these things that we do, Maharaj says ki you get this much, a mustard seed worth of respect from it. However, if we follow Gurbani, Maharaj says if you man Guru's hukam, pat syon par gir jaye. You go with respect. And we know that we even talk about Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. It says in Gurbani ki the Guru Gobind Singh Ji says ki the whole world was going ha. Oh no, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji passed away. What was the Swarg doing? What was the people in the angels in heaven? What were they doing when Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji left from here to heaven? It says Jai 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 Surlok. That the heavens were shouting Jai Jai Jai. Tan Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji is coming. And also it says ki manne mag na challe panth. Now we talked about this before. Mag actually means the wrong path. Magna chale panth. We don't follow the path of duality. Now we said before that Sikhi is a path of balance. Bani, Bana, Seva, Simran, Sangat, Pangat, and Naam Japana, Kirt Karni, and Vand Ke Shakna. These things are like balance. You got a tripod, it needs balance. You got a bicycle, it needs 2 wheels. We have to do all of these. And what happens is when we start following Sikhi, we don't go on the path that's the wrong path. And Maharaj keeps us inside the right path. Then it says ki manne dharam seti sanbandh. That the sanbandh means to be tied to something, to be connected to something. And dharam, we know in Gurbani, refers to morality and justice. There's 2 ways of understanding this one body, this one pankti. Maharaj says that on the one side, the Gursikh follows the right path, justice, morality. They don't walk away from that. Even if it's hard, even if you have a kirpan, you think, you know what, I don't have to interfere here. Maharaj says, no, the Gursikh is tied to dharam. Not to a religion sometimes, but to dharam, the right thing to do. But also, there's this thing that Gursikhs stick to their dharam, the Khalsa dharam, the Sikhi dharam. They don't just convert out because someone put a knife to their neck. They go, Lalo, I'll give you my head, but you won't take my Sikhi. Sir jave, ta jave, meri Sikhi, siddiq na jave. A Gursikha ne kita hai. They did this. In our history, so amazing. But how did they do this? We always say how they talked about this, but we know that they did this because of Manage. Inside, they had Sunya, Manya, Mankita, Pao, and Antargat. Inside, they washed in that Tirath.
मन मार्ग ठाक न पाए, मार्ग ठाक न पाए, मन पद स्यों पर घट जाए, मन पद स्यों पर घट जाए, मन मग न चले पंथ, मन मग न चले पंथ, मन धर्म से तीसन बंद, मन धर्म से तीसन बंद, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, जेको मन जाने मन को, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, जेको मन जाने मन को, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो, ऐसा नाम निरंजन हो.
Maharaj says, Manne paveh mokh dwar. O Gursikha, if you accept this, if you follow this Shabad, and you accept Gurbani, I'll give you what you want, I'll give you mukti. Mukti is a door of salvation is available to you. But the Sikh doesn't want the door of salvation. The Sikh goes ki, Raj na chao, Mukt na chao, man preet charan kamalare. The Sikh goes, just let me love your feet, Waheguru, I don't even want this mukti. But Maharaj said, I'll give it to you anyway. It comes free, alongside your love. Then Maharaj says, ki, listen, manne parvare sadhar. Not only, Gursikh, I know you love your family, not only if you follow this path, Maharaj says that he will not only save you, but he will save your family as well. It says in Gurbani that we can take our family with us. It says, Oye aap chute parvar syon, din piche sab jagat chutaye. Not only will you be saving yourself, you'll be saving your family. And nowadays in Gursikh families, and Sikhi families, Punjabi families, let's say, Punjabi families, when somebody gets into Sikhi, they think, oh no, what's going to happen to him? Ida Byani hona, ida Oni hona, we're not going to get him married off. Maharaj says, listen, if one person in your family becomes a Gursikh, he'll take all of you. We should be saying, go on, become a Gursikh. If I can't do it, you do it, I'll go with you. We think in the wrong way. We've got the wrong end of the stick. We think save him from Gursikhi. We should be saying, Maharaj, save him and save me with him. Or her. Maharaj says, ki, listen, be the example for your family as well. When you become a Gursikh, become that pao bhagat karni sadai. Become that humble person and become that loving person, so they think, wow, I want to be like him. Become the inspiration for your family as well. Living Sikhi is a prachar sometimes. And Maharaj says, manne tare tare Gursikh. The Gursikhs, not only do they swim themselves across this ocean, this worldly ocean. If you want to swim across, Maharaj says, if you become a Gursikh, you will swim across. But also, you will help others swim across. Tare, tare. You will not even tare yourself, you will help others swim across. But also, you see, this Gursikh is a Sangat. Sangat is what Guru is saying here. In the Sangat, not only will the Gursikhs themselves get enlightened, other people will come along and get enlightened as well. Sikhi ate Sangati par Brahm ka namaskarya. The Sikhi and the Sangati, they come together and they say to Waheguru, Namaskar. And we know in Gurbani, it says ki I mil Gursikh, I mil tu mere Guru ke pyare. You're the beloved of my Guru, come together in me. And then Maharaj says, Manne Nanak pave na pikh. Listen, oh Manan wala person, that person who's a follower and a believer in Gurbani, Maharaj says that you will not fall into poison. Pikh is poison. Now one way we can understand that in this life, by staying away from Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, by staying away from alcohol, drugs and all these things, we won't fall into poison. But also Maharaj says that in your next life, when we leave this earth, we won't leave with our Made Karam. We says in Gurbani ki Bije Bik Mange Amrit. We won't be sowing Bik in the ground, we'll be sowing Naam. When you grow a tree, Satsangaji, you plant a seed, but you get back a tree full of fruit. One seed gives you back so much. One Simran, one Waheguru Simran gives us back so much.
Manne paveh mok duwar, paveh mok duwar. Manne parvar sadar, manne parvar sadar. Manne tare tare Gursikh, manne tare tare Gursikh. Manne Nanak paveh na pikh, manne Nanak paveh na pikh. Aisa naam niranjan ho, jeko man jaan man ko re. Aisa naam niranjan ho, jeko man jaan man ko re. Aisa naam niranjan ho, aisa naam niranjan ho, aisa naam niranjan ho. Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
Maharaj says very clearly, he says, Kis look, hun vate har naam na bijyo, agge pukha kya khaye. If you don't plant God's name right now, what will you eat in the future? There's going to be nothing there because you didn't plant it. So as a Gursikh, we all have to follow Guru. Guru da Sikh. You can't be a Sikh of anybody else. You're a disciple, you have to have a Guru And a Guru da Sikh is what you have to be. Nothing else. You can't say, I'm not a good Sikh, I'm just a Sikh. There's no such thing. So, Purna Chukka Maaf Karniya. If we just follow our Guru, Sunana and Manana, we'd all be blessed. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru.